The Democratic Alliance-led multi-party coalition has called on the Speaker of the city of Tshwane to convene a sitting of council this morning. This after proceedings to vote in a new mayor were adjourned yesterday to allow the Tshwane Speaker Mncedi Ndzwanana to seek legal advice over the COPE councillor. The multi-party coalition has slammed this, saying it's politically motivated. Let's speak now to Mbali Thethani. She is our reporter on this particular story. Mbali, good morning to you. So there is a push for the council to convene a sitting today. What do we know about this legal opinion that the Speaker is trying to get his head around?
Well, the drama in the city of Tshwane just never seems to end. And of course, just following yesterday, we saw the Speaker of Council saying that he will now proceed and take legal advice in terms of a COPE councillor. You'd know that COPE has its own internal battles, and at the same time, there are indeed two letters that have been presented to the Speaker when it comes to who should take over the position of Morunwa Makwarela. One letter, on the other hand, from the president of COPE. Of course, he wants Sifanyatso to, become the replacement for Morunwa Makwarela, while Colleen Makubele, the speaker in the city of Johannesburg, has presented another name. So there is an issue there in terms of who then this council will recognize as the COPE representative. But at the same time, you would know that yesterday, because of that issue, we saw the Speaker taking that decision, saying that he will adjourn proceedings, and of course he will then reconvene them at a later stage, also not giving an indication when council will reconvene fully and when councillors in the city of Tshwane will be able to elect a new mayor. I'm just going to bring in somebody from the multi-party coalition, and specifically from the DA. Her name is Jackie Ace. Jackie, yesterday you said that you will be taking legal action against the Speaker for taking that decision, but at the same time this morning you want council to reconvene. Tell us why.
So yesterday we wrote to the Speaker, our lawyers wrote to the Speaker and demanded of him to convene the meeting today at 10 because he illegally adjourned yesterday's meeting. The only time when a Speaker can adjourn a meeting is if he loses quorum. He did not lose quorum to indefinitely adjourn a meeting. So the reality of the matter is that our lawyers wrote to him and that he ignored our lawyers' letters. We are now bringing him a petition tomorrow, petition now to call a meeting for tomorrow, signed by 108 councillors. And that is the reality that we should be focusing on here. The coalition has got 108 councillors out of the 214. We have gotten a majority. And this is the reason why the ANC first started to try and buy votes with brown envelopes, and after we cleaned house and Action SA got rid of 3 of their councillors, we are now a united coalition who they can't buy anymore. They are now trying every trick in the book to illegally do things like we saw on Friday and like we saw again yesterday to try and take over the city. But as a coalition, we are not going to stand for it. We're not going to take it. We are going to fight this. We are going to restore the city, and we are going to bring hope and services back to the residents of Tshwane.
You called for him to have the meeting take place today at 10 o'clock. The Speaker has not done so. You want him to reconvene it tomorrow at 10 o'clock. If that does not happen, what steps are you taking as the multi-party coalition?
The multi-party is consulting with our lawyers to see what the best way forward is and what the best timelines forward is. Because as I said, for us important now is to bring stability, to elect a mayor. We have to keep Panyaza Lesufi off our front step. He has made it clear in the media that he's going to do to Tshwane what he has done in Johannesburg. He has made it clear that he is going to come and knocking on our doors, and he is getting involved in the politics of the city instead of being the premier of Gauteng. So we will ensure that we stop him from getting in through the doors or through any back door in the city.
Yesterday, speaking to members of the opposition in the House, they are saying that last week Friday, you as the multi-party coalition asked the Speaker to get legal advice on the status of two of the members from Action SA. What makes this one different now that he wants to get a legal opinion to sort out the issues of COPE?
So the reality was that last week, Action SA's members were no longer members of that political party. According to the Structures Act, they then cannot be members of council. He wanted to conduct an election for a mayor with people in the House who are not members. Yesterday what happened was that there was an infighting in a political party of who should be filling that seat. The answer is very simple. The IEC should give that direction. It should not matter what the internal politics are. The further fact of the matter is that that seat was declared as a vacancy. And yesterday, as we went into the meeting, there was a legal vacancy on that seat as declared by the city manager. So if COPE could not get their house in order, that should not be keeping the business of a council up.
What ramifications does this have if this city cannot be able to elect its new mayor? Because one would say there is no mayoral committee, there are no services, there are no people to hold this city accountable for what it's actually meant to do.
The coalition still has oversight committees in place. Those oversight committees are still functioning. So this morning we have the environmental committee who is sitting and who is still functioning. So there is oversight, and the coalition is ensuring that we keep on the officials every step of the way. Our next step is then to elect the mayor and to put into place the executive so that further executive functions can also take place.
What's the likelihood, you speak of Panyaza Lesufi, what's the likelihood of this city being placed under administration? Speaking to Kwena from the DA just yesterday, he was saying that, it seems as if the opposition are trying to take that route to place Tshwane under administration.
They are trying to take that route because they've got no other legal mandate to govern the city. They failed with their brown envelopes, and now they're trying to come and steal it via administration. And yes, that is Panyaza's end goal. He also realizes that he does not have all the reason and all the tools. And we have to see this for what it is, that they are using COPE strings and once again using COPE puppets in order to destabilize. And we will not allow that to happen. And therefore we will force the Speaker to convene a meeting where we will elect a mayor.
All right, thank you very much. That is Jackie Ace from the Democratic Alliance here in the city of Tshwane, saying that, of course, there is no meeting this morning taking place here in the city of Tshwane. If it does not take place tomorrow morning, they will then continue to take the legal route to force the Speaker to come in and convene a meeting here in the city of Tshwane so that this municipality can see its mayor elected.
Mbali Thethani, thank you very much. Live for us at the City of Tshwane Council.